On SAP-C02, two architectures can both work and only one can be the best answer. The winner is the one that meets every stated constraint without buying complexity the business did not ask for. If you are a solutions architect, cloud engineer, consultant, or technical lead with real AWS design experience, this guide will help you read those scenarios, map them to the 4 domains, and study the decisions behind the services. The official exam runs for 180 minutes and contains 75 multiple choice or multiple response questions. 65 affect your score, 10 are unidentified, unscored pretest questions. Unanswered questions are wrong, and AWS applies no penalty for guessing. The result is pass or fail on a 100 to 1000 scale score, with 750 as the minimum passing score. That is not the same as 75% correct, and you pass the exam overall rather than passing every domain separately. AWS lists the price as $300, with testing through Pearson VUE at a test center or online. The scored blueprint is close, but not equal. Design for new solutions is 29%, organizational complexity, 26%, continuous improvement, 25%, and migration and modernization, 20%. Do not turn those weights into a service checklist. For every scenario, write 5 lines: the business outcome, hard constraints, failure targets such as RTO and RPO, operating model, and economics. Eliminate any option that breaks a hard constraint, then compare what remains on reliability, performance, operational burden, and lifecycle cost. Domain 1, Organizational Complexity, asks whether many accounts, networks, identities, teams, and workloads can operate as one governed environment. Expect hybrid and multi-VPC connectivity, DNS and segmentation, cross-account identity, encryption, and central auditing, RTO and RPO-based recovery, organizations and control tower, plus tagging, purchasing choices, and cost visibility. Picture an acquisition with overlapping SIDRs and a separate identity provider. Connecting every VPC does not solve governance. A stronger answer defines accounts and organizational units, federated access, a scalable transit and DNS design, centralized logs and security events, recovery ownership, and cost allocation. Study tip: draw the landing zone as one system and ask who owns each control. Domain 2, Design for New Solutions, is the largest domain and begins with a blank page plus business requirements. It covers deployment through infrastructure as code, CI/CD, upgrades, and rollback, continuity through tested backup and disaster recovery, security controls, reliability and failover, performance choices such as caches, replicas, storage, and purpose-built databases, and cost, including data transfer. Suppose a new global ordering service needs low latency, a defined recovery point, and safe releases, but the budget does not justify active everywhere. The right design may combine multi-AZ availability, selective cross-region replication, queue-based decoupling, caching, and a rollback-capable pipeline. Multi-region is not automatically better, it adds cost, consistency questions, and operational work. Study tip: build a requirement to pattern table before naming services. Domain 3 starts with a workload that already runs, which means evidence comes before redesign. You must improve operations with monitoring, deployment controls, and automation, security with least privilege, secrets, patching, backups, and remediation, performance against measurable SLAs and KPIs, reliability by removing weak points, and cost by analyzing utilization, transfer, and waste. Imagine CloudWatch shows a database bottleneck and a retry storm while an SLO is being missed. Blindly scaling EC2 treats the symptom. Instead, measure the failing path, test a cache, red replica, or purpose-built store, add back pressure and alarms, then verify both the business metric and the bill. Study tip: practice the loop, observe, isolate, change the smallest thing, automate, and verify. Domain 4 treats migration as a portfolio decision, not a command to lift and shift everything. Assess dependencies and total cost, choose among the 7 common migration strategies, plan waves, and select the right application, database, data transfer, network, identity, and governance path. Then choose the target compute, container, storage, or database platform and modernize only where decoupling, serverless, containers, or a purpose-built database produces measurable value. For a stable ERP, stateless web tier, and event-driven batch job, the 3 answers may differ. Map 1/7 our decision and cutover risk to each workload instead of forcing one migration pattern across the portfolio. Also note the guide's new responsible AI security examples are currently unscored pretest content, not a 5th scored domain. Here is the study plan: take one blueprint task, solve an original scenario with a 5-line constraint ladder, record why you rejected each distractor, then review the weakest domain and repeat under time pressure. Keep AWS documentation as the source of truth because service scope and exam guidance can change. For supplementary practice across all 4 domains, use the practice and timed modes at exams.tertiaryinfotech.com/practiceexams/AWS SAP-C02. Then review every miss as an architecture decision, not a trivia failure.